Likes means something that we prefer, something that we love, that we enjoy with, that we comfort with. Is it clear? For example, if I say, I like mango, this means I feel happy if I eat mango, okay? Good. So what's about dislike? Dislike means something that you do not like, or maybe something that makes you happy, or something that you hate. When you say here, I dislike orange, this means you don't feel comfort if you eat orange. Okay? And also we can say, I hate a snake. I hate a snake means maybe if you hear or if you see a snake, you don't feel comfort. So that means that something that you do not like. Is it clear? Good. Students, let's say something about our today's lesson. Sorry, something wrong? Okay, today we are going to say something about present simple and present continuous tense in passive voice. Present simple, passive, and present continuous tense in passive. Okay, good students. Before we start our today's lesson, let me tell you the objectives that should be achieved. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to describe the difference between active and passive voice. And also, you are going to change active voice into passive voice. Is it clear? Then, you are going to talk about active voice and the passive voice in negative and the question forms. Is it clear? Nice students. Okay. Just as brainstorming, what is the difference between active and passive voice? Passive voice. Students, please tell to your parents the difference between active and passive voice. Here, this means the shortened form of between. Okay? What's the difference between active and passive voice? Tell to your parents. You have only 10 seconds. Bravo. I hope you told to your parents. Good. Students, do you know what active voice means here? Active voice. Look, when we say active voice, we mean that the doer of the action comes as the beginning of the sentence. And then the receiver comes as the end of the sentence. Is it clear? For example, when we say here, doer of the action, doer or subject mean here? Subject of the sentence comes at the beginning of the sentence. And also here, the receiver. The receiver comes at the end. At the end. Do we know what we say here, receiver? Receiver means the object of the sentence. Who received the action, okay? For example, my sister cleans the house. My sister cleans the house. In this sentence, which one is the subject? Which one is the verb? Which one is the object? We have to identify them, unless it's very difficult to understand what active voice and passive voice means. Good students, look, in this sentence, my sister is the subject. Come on, my sister is the subject. Or doer mean the doer of the action. Is it clear? Cleanse here. Cleanse is verb. What about the house here? The house is object. Bear in your mind here, object means receiver of the action. The actions happens on the house. Is it clear? Good. So here is the form subject, verb, object. So the action is just going from the subject to the object. This means active voice. Is it clear? Active voice. Because the subject comes first, then verb. At the end, it is what? Object or receiver of the action. Is it clear? Now, let's change this one into passive voice to make it clear. Okay? Nice student. Come on here. Here the word subject is my sister. Cleans is verb. The house is object. Where you want to change into passive voice, we have to bring the object to the beginning of the sentence. Is it clear? Come on here. We can say the house. Here, the house is the object. When you want to change into passive voice, it should be at the beginning of the sentence. Is it clear? Nice here. Then, the verb is here. What kinds of verb is it? What kinds of verb is given here? This one is present simple verb, isn't it? Present simple verb. So, we have to change this one into verbiary. Clear? The verbiary form of clean is cleaned. But we have to remind that before we change this one into verbiary, there should be verb to be in present simple tense. Verb to be in present simple tense means is, am, are. Okay? Then we have to change this one into verbiary. So my house is singular or plural? Or the house is singular or plural? That is singular, eh? So the house is. Here this one is verb to be. Then this should be changed into verbiary. The verbiary form of clean is cleaned. Cleaned. Who cleaned the house? Who cleaned it? Yes, my sister. So if the subject is needed or necessary, we have to use by structure. By structure. This means the subject should come at the end of the sentence, just in the place of receiver of the action. So here, my sister, by my sister. Look. The house is cleaned by my sister. So, in the active voice, the house is in the place of what? Receiver, because it is the receiver of the action. But in passive voice, it comes as the beginning of the sentence. Is it clear? I hope it's clear. Nice student. So, the house is cleaned by my sister. In this sense, by is optional. If the subject is needed, we can use by. If not, we can leave it. Is it clear? Good. Okay, let's go to the next point here. Now we are going to say something about the rule. The rules of. Here, the rules of passive voice. Passive voice. Look here. When we are saying this one, don't forget, please. You have to bury your mind about subject, verb, object, because we are going to talk about them. Is it clear? Okay. Here, if the subject is affirmative, or the sentence is affirmative, and if the sentence is negative, they have different rule, different form, okay? In affirmative form, we have to use am, or is, or are, plus verb 3. Verb 3 means past participle. Past participle. What about if the sentence is negative? Yes, we have to use the same structure except negative marker. Are plus not. Then verb 3 means in other words past participle. Is it clear? Nice. Okay. When we say I, we mean that here I am. What about is? She is. He is. What about are? We are. You are. And they are. Is it clear? Bear your mind. If the subject is third person singular, and even if it is it, we have to say it is. Okay? Then this should be plus verb 3. Here is also should be plus verb 3. What about in this case? I am. I am not. Yes? You are. They are. And also we are. Not should be here. Not and also not. What about if the subject is third person singular? She is. He is. Not could be here to show the negative here. What about it? It is not. Then we have to add here verb 3. We will say it one by one if you are ready. Okay? As students, parents, I hope you are helping your children. Isn't it? Thank you very much. Come on here. When we say positive sentence, we will say it one by one. The positive sentence. For example, he writes the homework. He writes the homework. Number 2, they play football. Number 3, we learn maths. We learn maths. In this sentence, we have to identify which one is the subject. The subject of this sentence is he. What about the verb? Writes. What about the receiver of the action? Yes? The homework. Is it clear? Good. So as we've talked so far, when you want to change this one into passive voice, when you want to change this one into passive voice, the subject is here, the verb, the object is here. So the object should come at the beginning of the sentence, okay? So we have to say the homework. The homework. What about the subject? The homework. Is it singular or plural? That is singular, yeah? So we have to use what? Is. Plus, this verb should be changed into verb 3. Okay? So, the verb 3 form of write is, yes, written. If the subject is necessary, we can use by structure, by him. But this one is optional. Optional. We can leave it if we don't want to talk about that. Is it clear? What about this? They play football. According to the first answer, please do it by yourself. You have only 10 seconds. Bravo. Well done. Here, in this sentence, which one the subject? The subject. Which one the verb? Play. Which one is the object? Football. Students, please bear your mind. When you want change into passive voice, our attention is just on the receiver of the action. So we have to pay attention to the receiver of the action. Okay? Football. So we have to start from football. How many football is mentioned here? Only one. So we have to say football is, then what the verb 3 form of play? It should be played. Played. Is it important to mention the subject? If it is important, you can use by them. If not, leave it. Okay? If not, leave it. What about this one? We learn English or we learn maths. We learn maths. So we can say maths. Is the word maths singular or plural? It is S, but it is singular because it's the base word, okay? The base word. So maths is learned by us if it is important. If it's not important, you can leave it. Is it clear? Nice students. What if it is negative? What if it is negative? Now we will say something about negative case. So come on here. In this sense, we are going to say something about negative. In negative case. If the statement is negative, what could you do? What could you do? Here, for example, my sister or my brother doesn't do his classwork. Number 2, they don't eat their dinner. The third one, we clean the class. We clean the class. Come on here. Now we are going to change this one into passive voice. Here, as we said so far, my brother doesn't do his homework or his classwork. In this subject, in this sentence, my brother is my brother is the subject. What about the verb here? The verb doesn't or do? Yes, the main verb is do. This one is here to show negative marker, okay? It's a negative marker. We use here the word doesn't only for negative. There is no another function, okay? And it shows us the subject is singular, okay? So what about this one? This one is the object. So how can we change this one into passive voice? His classwork. His class work, yes, singular, is not. His classwork is not. What about the verb 3 form of do? Is not done. Is not done by my brother. By my brother. If not necessary, you can leave it. This one's optional, by the way. Bear your mind. Do we know when there is now the receiver's action is not important in the subject? I mean in the passive voice? The subject is, or the doer of the action is not important in the subject if the subject is noun. If the subject is not noun. And also if the subject is not necessary. Is it clear? And also if the subject is hidden, you cannot use by structure. For example, let's say I'm your teacher, okay? I give you homework. Then you can say, my teacher gives us homework. If you want to change this one into passive voice, you can say, the homework is given to us. That's all. Because always teachers gives homework. The subject is obvious. So no need of using that, okay? Good. Come on here. What about the second one? They don't eat their dinner. They don't eat their dinner. Can we change this one into passive voice? Yes. We have to start from this one. Their dinner is not. We took the word not from this one. It's not. The verb 3 form of it is what? Eaten by them. If necessary, you can use the by structure. What about this? We clean the class. Or maybe we can say here, classes even. We clean the classes. Let's do here. We don't clean the classes. We don't clean the classes. So can we change this one into passive voice? Yeah. Bear your mind, this one is plural. The classes. So we can say here, the classes are not. The classes are not cleaned. The classes are not cleaned. Here we add don't because we're talking about a negative, okay? So the classes are not cleaned by us. I hope it's clear. Good, now I want to give you an activity. We should be done within few minutes. Activity 1. Activity 1. The instruction says here, change this active voice into passive voice. Question number 1. Jamal plays volleyball. Number 2. My mother makes coffee every day. Number 3. Our teacher advises the students. I hope you're ready and everything is clear. Okay? Let me add you one negative. My friend doesn't do his assignment. My friend doesn't do his assignment. Students, do this one just for 1 minute. Students' parents, please help them. Nice, I hope you did it. Okay? Bravo. We will check it. If you are right, you're welcome. If not, please never give up. Because you can do it again and again. Then after some practice, you can be perfect. Nice student here. Come on. Question number 1. Jamal plays volleyball. In this sentence, we have to start from the object. First of all, you have to write the object. Okay, so here, volleyball. Because in passive voice, our attention is on what? Active or subject or receiver? Our attention is on the receiver. Is it clear? So we have to start from volleyball. Volleyball. Is it singular or plural? Singular, eh? So volleyball is. Then this verb should be changed into verb 3 or past participle. So what's the past participle of this verb? Play, played, played. In verb 1 play, in verb 2 played, in verb 3 played. Because that is regular verb with text ed, okay? Come on here. Volleyball is played. By whom? By Jamal. What about the second one? Hello? The second one. My mother makes coffee every day. Bear in your mind. The subject is my mother. The verb is makes. The object is coffee. So, in passive voice, we have to start from the object. Coffee here. Coffee. Is coffee countable or uncountable? That is uncountable. Since it is uncountable, we have to use is. Coffee is, because uncountable noun doesn't have what? No? Plural form. So coffee is. What about the verb city form of this one? Made. Say it again. Made. So coffee is made. Coffee is made by my mother. Yes, by my mother every day. This one is just adverbs of frequency. It shows the repetition of an action. So it should be here in passive voice and in active voice. Don't worry about this one. Every day should be here. So coffee is made by mother, or maybe by my mother. My should be here. By my mother every day. Clear? Nice. Our teacher advises the students. In this sentence, we have to start from the students. Okay? Here, the students are. Yes? Because this one is what? It's about plural subject. I mean the plural object. In this sentence, the students S is here, so we have to add the students are advised. The students are advised by, yes, our teacher. What about my friend doesn't do his assignment? Yes, his assignment, we can say here, his assignment. His assignment is singular, so his assignment is, yes, done by my friend, if necessary. If not, you can leave it. Okay? Good. Another point will be about present continuous tense. Continuous tense. We don't have another form here. The form is the same. Okay? In this sense, we have to add ing form. Okay? For example, we can say he is writing the homework. The homework. Look, in this sentence, we use is plus verb ing. Because this one is the action which is happening right now or at the time of speaking, okay? So if you want to change this one into passive voice, there is no another form. The form is the same, except we have to add being form, okay? So we can write here just like this, the homework. The homework is, just here is ing form, yeah? So instead of this one, we have to use being, be plus verb ing. The homework is being written. Is it clear? The homework is being written. And that's what we can say here. They are playing They are playing games. They are playing games. When we says the subject is game here. So games are then being are being because we took ing form from this one. Games are being played. The base verb is in this sense play, so this should be changed into ed by them. Is it clear? So in short, this form is here in this sentence: am or is or are plus being plus verb 3 in case of affirmative. What about if it is negative? If it is negative, am or is or are plus not plus being. Then plus verb 3. We can change this one into negative. He is. He is not writing the homework. He's not writing the homework. So if you want to change this sentence into passive voice, we have to say what? The homework here. The homework is then not. Is not being written by him or maybe by students. Is it clear? I hope it's okay. Good. Now I'm going to give you homework, then we will complete it. Homework. Change this sentence into this sentence into passive voice. Into passive. The first one. My friend writes the class work. Number 2, my father advises the children. Okay, students, for the next class, then you have to do this one, okay? Okay? After that, we will talk about what? Hello? In the next class, we will say about this one first. Then we will talk about the next point. So today, we will talk generally about passive and active voice. In negative and in positive case, especially in present simple tense. Thank you. Bye-bye.